afternoon, folks. This is Robert Chappell, executive editor of Madison365, with your daily update for Monday, June 21st. It is Monday. That means it is Metcalf's Monday. Metcalf's Markets is a fourth generation, family owned and operated market with stores in Madison at Hilldale Mall and behind Westtown Mall, and in Wauwatosa at 68th and State. They work to support local farmers and products and have over 3,500 locally sourced products on their shelves. And you can order for pickup or delivery. The COVID numbers are good, but there's still a pandemic, and it's just easier sometimes to order your groceries. You can go to shopmetcalfs.com anytime for pickup or delivery. And we appreciate Metcalfs and their support of Madison 365. So, the news today, we're going to talk about COVID first, and then we'll get to some local news, some very, very big local news in terms of dollar amounts of that are being raised to train young people in skilled trades. It's quite an impressive idea that's happening. But for now, let's talk about COVID numbers, which are great. I'm literally like giddy over these numbers. Now, we don't get any data over the weekend anymore. Okay, so we've had to wait, and then the numbers looked good on Friday. You got to wait a couple of days to see if they continue to be good on Monday, and I'm pleased to report that they are even better than usual on a Monday. So we've got 107 new cases today, which is pretty normal for a Monday, but it's pretty normal for a Monday when they were still reporting data on Saturday and Sunday. This is not just a one-day total. This is since Friday, we've had 107 new cases. And here's the best part. 5,241 new test results have been reported. I don't think those are all tests that took place over the weekend. I think some of those are sort of catch-up data from outlying counties that comes in that from last week, early, maybe like a week ago, that is just now coming into the state database over the weekend. But still, to have 5,241 new test results reported, only 107 of them positive, that's 2% of the daily new tests are positive. That's great news. Even better news, the overall positive test rate of the past 7 days, all the tests in the past 7 days, 0.8% are positive. That's outstanding news. That's the lowest it's been. It was 0.9 on Friday. It's the highest it's been lately is like 1.2%, which is great. All we ever wanted really was it to be below 3%, right? So then we got greedy and wanted it to get below 1, and it is. Now, the only number that I don't love is fatalities. We are now at 7,250 total fatalities. And that is 15 more than we saw on Friday. The state is reporting 0 fatalities over the weekend, which means that those 15 deaths that got added were from earlier, right? People who passed away of COVID months or weeks ago who maybe were listed as probable cases, so they be confirmed. Maybe they were listed as death certificates as COVID deaths, but hadn't been fully confirmed yet. So they've added to the data today. So our death toll goes up by 15, even though we had 0 deaths over the weekend. Okay, so it's good that we have 0 deaths over the weekend. It's still, I don't love that we're still catching up on the data, but that's what it is. We're just catching up on the data. Vaccinations continue to go very slowly, which I suppose is fine, right? We are seeing these very low COVID spread numbers in large part because half the population already has 1 dose. I should say almost half. 49.6% of Wisconsinites have gotten 1 dose. And that's not enough for herd immunity, right? 1 shot doesn't make you completely immune, but it does make you protected a little bit, right? And that's going to affect the larger population numbers. So the fact that we're seeing these numbers so low owes itself in part, I think, to the fact that we are getting lots of vaccines done, or we've gotten lots of vaccines done. The average, though, over the last 7 days continues to drop. The average number of vaccine doses given. Let's see if I can find this here real quick. It looks like it's, oh, there it is. 10,290 doses per day as of yesterday for the past 7 days. That's not very many. It's been as high as 64,000. That's about as low as it's been, about right around 10,000. So still slow, still about a tenth of a percent of the population finishes their vaccination each day. Um, it is what it is, you know. You want to get to 80%. We're not going to get to 80%. We're going to have to live with COVID as a thing, even though it's fully under control right now in Wisconsin. COVID is under control in Wisconsin. Let's just be clear about that. But it's not going to go away completely, maybe ever, because we're just not getting enough people vaccinated. So, we can yell and scream about that. We can be mad about it, but it's not going to do any good. So we manage the best we can. We are glad that it's being managed here. We're glad we can be outdoors. We can go to Ford Madison on Saturday night, as I did with 4,000 other people, which was fantastically fun. We'll talk about that result, though, which is not fantastically fun. But we can be around people. We don't have to have our masks on if we're vaccinated, right? Our kids still have to have masks on because they're not vaccinated yet. But it's under control. We're doing well. We're happy about that, and we'll keep pushing forward. That is as everything I have for you on coronavirus. We'll take a short pause. We'll hear from our sponsor, W Health, and we appreciate their support. And give me 30 seconds. I'll be right back. And I'll have some amazing news out of the Boys and Girls Club. Stay right where you are. Do not scroll away.
Here in the Midwest, community is important.
Having a healthcare system that's looking out for us,
that's actively addressing the racial disparities in healthcare is important.
When we can get good quality care, we can do more. We can achieve more.
We can be the kind of community we want to be, and that's really important.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
All right, we are back, and we learned this morning. This is the former Thermo Fisher Scientific facility out in Fitchburg, Verona Road. A guy by the name of John McKenzie, who is a real estate developer, real estate investor. He owns a bunch of apartments around town. He is going to buy this building for about $1 million. He's going to close on it next month. And he's going to give the building to the Boys and Girls Club. They have gotten a grant from the Pleasant T. Rowland Foundation of $5 million to completely gut and rebuild this building and to add an additional wing to it to create a skilled trade center where kids, I say kids, high school age kids, will be able to learn skilled trades, plumbing, HVAC, electrical, construction, all those kinds of highly skilled trades that often have labor shortages. Those jobs that start at an average of $42,000 a year, right? And they're also going to build that here, and then they're also going to have like a life skills entrepreneurship center where kids can learn to take those skills and start their own businesses, right? Or work as contractors, as independent contractors, whatever they want to do. They're also going to build a wing on here to house the administrative offices of the Boys and Girls Club. So this is going to become the Skilled Trade Center, the Life Skills Center, as well as the headquarters of the Boys and Girls Club, all donated by John McKenzie and then funded by Pleasant Rowland. Now, on top of that, I talked with Michael Johnson. If you go to Madison365.org right now, you'll see the news story on this. But one thing he said is that the Boys and Girls Club in the past, 5 or 6 years, has done a really good job of helping kids get ready for college. Right? They started Avid Tops a long time ago with 28 kids at East High School. Now it's got 200 kids every year. They're going through curriculum. They're going through internships. They're going through all sorts of preparation to get them ready for college. And they make a big deal out of college signing day. Right? They have all these kids that come through this program and they get ready to college. They go to college. It's wonderful. They should be proud of it. But they haven't done very much at all for those kids that aren't, for whom college is not a path, right? College isn't for everybody. A lot of kids could be involved in the Boys and Girls Club, and then, but when they graduate high school, the Boys and Girls Club doesn't have anything more for them, right? So this program will help take those kids that aren't going to be going to college, but who are going to be going into the workforce and train them up for that workforce, get them internships, actually get them apprenticeships. We're paying them to learn how to do these jobs, right? And the idea is that it'll take a couple years to ramp up. But Michael said that the goal is 200 kids every year, and at least like half or 60% of those get through this program and land right into a job paying $42,000 a year or more, and addressing the labor shortage and the diversity shortage, frankly, in some of those companies. The Madison Area Builders Association is partnering on this. Findorf Builders is going to be the contractor on the renovation of the building, and they're going to contribute to it also because they need the help. They need these kids to be trained up to work for them, right? Get better workers, more diverse workforce. So it seems like a pretty good deal all around. They're going to have a groundbreaking in July, and they're going to open this thing a year from now. The other piece of this, though, and here's where you can get involved, is I don't know if you are aware of Michael Johnson, but he is a fundraiser. Like he's always hustling for funds. He's literally selling furniture on Facebook to fund the Boys and Girls Club. And he's always doing these stunts. Like he's going to stay up on a roof until they raise $100,000 or something like that. So rather than do that for the rest of his life, right, the Boys and Girls Club is seeking to raise a $35 million endowment over the next 5 years. And part of the Pleasant Roland grant is going to go into that endowment, but they're also just fundraising for the endowment, and they've already raised almost $1 million from about almost 1,200 people have contributed to this idea already, and they're going to put this $35 million at the Madison Community Foundation, where it will learn interest, and they will be able to run their education programs from this endowment, just on the interest on that endowment. They'll still have to do fundraising to run their centers and some other programs, but basically the idea is to endow a big pot of money to run these education programs in perpetuity, right? So they're not dependent on $10,000 here and there from the city or from whatever. So if you want to contribute to that massive effort, and $35 million sounds like a lot over the next 5 years, but every few dollars gets them closer. So if you want to be part of that, you can go to Madison365.org right now, click on that picture, and this, find the story, which has this photo on it. If you see that photo on the front page, click there. It has the story, a lot of the details, quotes from Michael, as well as the link where you can go and chip into that and have your part of that $35 million done. I'll talk more about another cause you should donate to a little bit later, but let's continue on with the news here. In sports this weekend, there's Noah Fuson. He plays for Forward Madison. He had a hat trick of near misses on Saturday. He came within a couple inches of scoring 3 times in the first half hour of the match on Saturday. Nobody could get the ball in the net. Forward Madison gave up a goal at the very end of the first half, and then at the very end of the game to lose 2-0 to a team they 100% should have beaten. Madison had 20 shots, 14 of them from inside the box, and could not get the ball to go in the net. They hit the crossbar or the posts 4 times. It was a very frustrating match to watch, but exciting. They next traveled to Greenville for a midweek match Wednesday night. Beloit police are asking for your help. This is Drake Moore. He is 12 years old. Beloit police say he ran away from home. He was last seen in the area of the 300 block of Kenwood Avenue around 1:45 p.m. today. So he's not been missing very long, which is good. He's wearing a white tank top and blue jeans. If you have seen Drake, you have to call the Beloit police at 608-757-2244. Turning now to national news. Interesting study reported by CNN today that counterintuitively, during the pandemic, when nobody was driving anywhere, traffic deaths actually increased. And they increased the most among Black people. The National Traffic Safety Administration found a 23% increase among Black people in what appears to be a stark illustration of which populations could and could not afford to stay home throughout the pandemic. So it's a very interesting and important reporting from CNN that is on our website right now. Another story at the national level from CNN: NCAA athletes might very well be getting paid pretty soon. The Supreme Court, United States Supreme Court today, unanimously decided that student athletes could receive education-related payments in a case that could reshape college sports by allowing more money from the billion-dollar industry to go to the players. It is a billion-dollar industry, and the people who create the product do not get any piece of that money. So the Supreme Court ruled in favor of a bunch of former athletes that they should have been compensated differently and better. And that story is also on Madison365.org right now. Finally, another cause you should be part of. This is our new membership program. It is called the FAM. If you are giving us a monthly donation, last year, a lot of you set up a recurring monthly donation. And if you did that, you are already members of the FAM. You'll be hearing from us very soon, welcoming you to the FAM, to our FAM, right? If you want to support this work that we do, this journalism that comes to you every day for free, you understand how important it is to be informed, and you understand that we hire professionals to report the news for you. That costs us money. These CNN stories cost us money, right? Producing this program costs a little bit of money, not a lot. There's not a lot of overhead here. But that's how you know that the money goes straight into the reporting, right? We don't pay for an office. We don't rent a newsroom. Like, we have very little overhead. So if any donation you make goes straight into the reporting. So the FAM is our new membership thing. It's not necessarily just a one-time donation. It's a membership. If you decide what amount of money works for you, you set that up to come out of your bank account every month. $5, $10, $25, whatever you can do. And you get a little bit in return. You get some early notice of our most influential lists. You get early notice of our big events. If you come in at $25 a month, you actually get a free ticket to the big event, the Wisconsin Leadership Summit in October, which is exciting. And most of all, you get to help us keep this thing free for everybody else. Like, the FAM is going to be the engine that runs this thing in many ways. Right? It's that revenue that helps us keep this thing free for those who cannot spare $5 a month. Right? A lot of folks need to be informed, need to know what's happening in their community, in their city, but don't have $5 to spare. But if you do, maybe you can help out. And you can join the FAM. Once again, Madison365.org/the FAM to join. That's all I have for you today. It is a beautiful Monday. Hope you're able to get out and enjoy it. And either case, I'll be back tomorrow morning with the It's Only 10 Minutes podcast. And I'll be back tomorrow afternoon right here at the same time to get you up to speed on everything that's happening in Madison, Wisconsin, and around the world. Till then, have a wonderful evening. We'll talk to you soon.
This is 365 Media.